Three bad habits that are ruining your dating life. When I cut these habits out, that's when I saw the success that I wanted with women. You have to cut these habits out if you want to improve your dating life. The first habit is trying to impress women. When you try to impress women, you're coming from the frame that they're above you. You're less than. I want you to think about a boss and an employee. Do you think a boss tries to impress an employee? Do you think a boss tries to change who he is so that the employee likes him? No. This is what you're doing when you try to impress women. You're being somebody that you're not. And women are not dumb. She's going to see that you're not being authentic. She's going to see that you're trying to impress her because you're not sure if she likes who you are. What are you ashamed of? Right? What are you ashamed of? Do you think you're not cool enough? Do you think that you have to brag and you have to try to impress her for her to like you? Be authentic. You have to be genuine. The thing is that she can see your inauthenticity, right? She can see that you're not authentic. She can see that you're not being who you actually are because you're putting her above yourself. You don't want to have this frame when you talk with women. She doesn't want to be with a man that puts her on a pedestal because you're coming from a lower frame. You have to be authentic. You have to show your natural personality. You have to talk about the things that you like because it's only then that you're going to attract the same type of women. If you're a guy that likes going to the gym, but you think that talking about the gym is going to turn her off, or she's not a girl that's into fitness, you think that by talking about the gym and talking about fitness, it's going to turn her off. But that's not true. When you talk about your passions and you talk about what you like and you show your natural personality, you're going to attract women that are into the same things. But you have to be genuine. You can't be ashamed of who you are. Because when you try to impress women, it's because you're ashamed of who you are. But this is actually turning them off. You're going to get more women and you're going to attract more women like you when you're genuine and you're not afraid of who you are. You don't hold back on your interests. You're not afraid to be yourself. You're not afraid to shine your personality, right? This is what you have to do. You have to be authentic. You can't try to impress women. When you try to impress them, they're going to be turned off because you're putting on a fake persona. You're not actually being congruent with who you are. I had a friend that was always trying to impress women. When we would go out and interact with women, he was always trying to portray someone he wasn't. He was trying to impress women by telling them he had a lot of money or that he had a really nice car. But when they would ask him further questions, he always had an excuse to why he couldn't show what he was talking about, right? He couldn't show the amount of money that he had. He couldn't show the nice car that he had, right? He always had an excuse. And this actually became something that my friend group would laugh about because he couldn't be authentic. He couldn't be his natural self. He always tried to impress women. And the women he would talk to would look at him as a joke. They would actually make fun of him. They would actually joke around about how he's being inauthentic, because women are not dumb. They're going to be able to see through your bullshit. Be authentic and be genuine. Be proud of who you are. And if you're currently not happy with who you are or your situation, improve and get better. Don't complain and stay the same. Change your situation, because you have the power to improve. You have the power to get better. You have the power to be the man that you actually want to be. But don't put on a fake persona when you talk with women. The women that actually like you, they're going to like you because you're genuine and they're interested in you. Now, the second habit that is ruining your dating life is fapping. Now, you have to understand that when you fap and you see these videos, you're going from 0 to 100, right? You click on a video, your mind is overstimulated, right? You like what you see, and it's easy. You went from being turned on to being able to bust a nut in a matter of seconds, right? You went from 0 to 100. But you have to understand that this is why you can't talk with women. This is why you still struggle with women, because you're not actually going out there. You're not actually getting uncomfortable to actually go and talk with women. When you watch these X videos, you're getting comfortable because you don't actually have to do anything. You feel good in the moment. But you're not actually going out and talking with women. You're not going out and approaching women. You're not interacting with women. You're training yourself to not actually talk with women. Anytime you have desire, you don't go and make something happen with women, because you just go and fap. You just go and release a nut. But this is destroying your dating life, because you're taking the easy way out. Bro, you're literally watching somebody else bang the women that you want to get with. You watch these women and you fap to these women, but yet you can't talk to them in real life, right? That is weird. You're programming your mind to be a loser. You can't actually do this in the real world because you keep fapping. You're not getting uncomfortable. When you really think about it, do you know how weird it is to fap? If you take a camera and you record yourself fapping, you are going to be disgusted, because it's not normal. It's not natural. It's very weird. It's a very weird habit. You're looking at your phone while touching yourself. That is weird. Right? Do that exercise. Go and record yourself while you're fapping and look at yourself. Look at how weird you're going to look. You're going to be disgusted. You have to cut this bad habit out ASAP. You have to cut this shit out today. Your confidence is taking a hit every time you fap, because a lot of the times when you finish fapping, you don't even feel good. You feel ashamed. You don't feel good about yourself, right? You feel like you wasted your time and your energy on something that you shouldn't be doing. It's going to lower your confidence when you talk with women, because you're obsessing over these women on a screen, right? You're getting off to these women on a screen. So when you actually see a woman that you like, you're not gonna feel very confident. You're going to add more pressure onto yourself. You're going to feel more pressure to actually approach and actually have a man to women interaction. You just take the easy way out and you go and fap. But the truth is, we both know you want real chicks. You have to cut this bad habit out. It's ruining your dating life. You're destroying your brain. you're destroying your expectations, right? This is why some of you guys, if you get to actually do something with a woman, you have performance anxiety, right? Because you've been watching all these videos and your expectations are way too high. So you have performance anxiety. And some of you guys have erectile dysfunction because you touch yourself so damn much, right? You don't stop fapping. Stop fapping and actually go talk to women. Develop your skills. Develop your confidence. Develop your social skills. Develop being attractive to women. Instead of busting all that energy, right? Use that energy to improve yourself and to actually get the women that you're fapping to. Now, the last bad habit that you have to cut out is overthinking. When you see a chick that you like, you overanalyze every situation. You start getting in your head and you start giving yourself excuses to why you shouldn't go up and talk to her, right? You start giving yourself excuses so that you don't talk with her or you don't approach, right? You might see her and she might be on her phone and you use that as an excuse to not go up and approach. You think that you might be bothering her, or you think that she's not gonna like you. You think that you're not attractive enough, or you overthink what to say, right? You start getting in your head and you start putting pressure on yourself because you think that you have to have the perfect interaction. You think that every interaction is going to be smooth and it's going to be perfect. But the truth is, every interaction is different. Every interaction is a different situation. But if you keep getting in your head and you keep over analyzing, you're not gonna actually do these approaches. You're not gonna approach and you're not gonna talk to her because you're so in your head. You think that you have to say the perfect things, when in reality, this is what's holding you back. Right? I don't overanalyze no situation. If I see a chick that I want to go talk to, I don't start thinking about what can hold me back. Right? I just go and do. You have to start doing more than you think. You have to take more action than you think. Stop thinking so much. Stop overanalyzing every situation. This is what's stopping you from actually making improvements, because if you're not constantly approaching and you're not developing the skills that you need to talk to women, you're not going to get better. You're not going to improve. You're going to stay in your head and you're not going to take any action. You're going to stop your growth because the truth is you're seeing the situation way bigger than what it actually is. When you actually start approaching and you see that it's not a big deal, she can only say two things: yes or no. That's it, right? But you're over analyzing every situation, and this is why you still struggle with women. The truth is, it's actually not a big deal. The worst thing that can happen is that she says no. And that is not a big deal. You shouldn't be over analyzing anything when it comes to women. You have to flow, right? The more you do this, the more you're going to be able to flow, and the more automatic you're going to get. It's going to get easier and easier with each approach, but you first have to get out of your head. I promise you, if you stop over analyzing and you stop overthinking and you just take action, you're going to improve. You're going to get better, and you're going to see that at the end of the day, it wasn't a big deal. With that being said, if you made it this far to the video, click below, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video.